What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers, and of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls were without DeMar DeRozan in tonight's matchup due to hip and thigh soreness, I believe it was, but he was out. He did not, I don't even believe he made the trip to Indiana in tonight's game. And he was out. Billy Donovan elected to go with Alex Caruso, Zach LaVine, Patrick Williams, Vucevic, and Ayo in the starting lineup. Now, the Chicago Bulls have lost, a handful of games. They're looking for answers, if you ask me. They're looking lethargic at times. They're looking complacent at times. In the last game, they didn't even make 5 3-pointers in the last game, I believe. And tonight, facing off against a Pacers team who we know is going to be tough with guys like Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, guys like Miles Turner, you're going to have your hands full, especially with a young, scrappy team that's never going to quit in a basketball game. So the first basket of the game did come from Ayo Dosunmu. You seen Patrick Williams getting in the passing lane from defense to offense. Ayo was getting to the rim, laying the ball in. Vucevic was getting in the post. And at that point of the game, I said, okay, this is what the Bulls have to build upon to not only win the early stages of this game, but to actually win the game. You come out early and you basically punch this team in the mouth. You seen, but Naismith, he was one of the ones tonight to keep the Pacers involved in this basketball game. He had two early threes, but the Bulls ran a great inbound pass to Zach LaVine. I believe it was Alex Caruso who actually made the pass. You seen Vucevic with a three, but an early timeout by the Pacers because at this stage, Chicago looked poised. They looked poised to run away with this game. The Bulls started getting out on the break. They went up as much as 12. You seen Patrick Williams pulling up, being aggressive from the mid-range. Ayo Dosunmu from 3. And the Pacers' turnovers in the first quarter led to a lot of Bulls points, points off turnovers. You seen Andre Drummond get in off the bench, crashing the boards. You seen the Bulls causing more turnovers. And Zach LaVine was very aggressive early. Without DeMar DeRozan in the lineup, you might as well just penciled him in, to have at least a 15 to 20 point attempt night, 15 to 20 shot attempts, for the game. You might as well pencil him in since DeRozan did not play. The Bulls did lead by as much as 24 points in the first quarter. They scored 39 points. The score was 39-15 after one. And you seen Dalen Terry, get in. And this is where I said, okay, this is going to be the story and how the game is going to be told once the game is over. The young guys from Dalen Terry to Kobe White to Ayo Dosunmu to Patrick Williams. This is going to be the telling story of the game. Can this nucleus of young talent basically put more distance between them and the Pacers in the second quarter? Now, you did see Chris Duarte with the first bucket for Indiana in the second, but Ayo Dosunmu was still getting to the rim. You seen the Bulls not defending the perimeter, which led to a lot of threes for Indiana. But you seen Patrick Williams still in the passing lane. The Bulls just were not playing crisp. Like I said, with the younger guys, they just weren't playing crisp in the second quarter. Now, you did see Zach LaVine still with his offense. He had a nice step back jump shot from the wing at one point in the second quarter. But the Bulls were sloppy. Their turnovers started rearing its ugly head. You seen just guys just not in the right spots, just guys just not playing like you had a 20-plus point lead. This is the time where you're supposed to put this team away. You up 20, this is where you're supposed to get the opportunity to put this team away. Now, you seen Zach LaVine with some foul trouble in the first, and then the tech by Vucevic, and it was basically the tech was he thought he got fouled, and he came down on the other end. He committed a foul, and he threw the ball at the basket stanchion, and the ref called a foul. I mean, we could have did without that, but it happened. Now the Pacers do go on a run, and they get the lead all the way down to 9. But the Bulls, they took that punch and they punched back. You seen a Kobe White jump shot, Vucevic with a rim run that got him a dunk. The Pacers, but their threes were falling. You seen Zach LaVine getting in the paint, Kobe with a deep three, and the Bulls were up 16 at the half, 58-42. 58-42. So they played a great 24 minutes of basketball. It was just about executing and finishing the next 24, and that's what really mattered. They held Buddy Hield to no shots went in for Buddy Hield in the first half. Now in the third, you seen a step back three from Zach LaVine. Ayo Dosunmu still was getting into the passing lane. You seen Patrick Williams get to the rim. Zach LaVine's threes were falling. Ayo Dosunmu, again, getting to the rim. Had a great game, if you ask me. Ayo Dosunmu, Kobe White, the young core was having a really good night, if you ask me. But the Pacers' threes started to fall, and falling quickly. Vucevic was getting to the rim. You seen Patrick Williams getting to the rim, and Buddy Hield began to heat up. And by heat up, I mean every time he touched the ball, he was shooting. You seen Vooch with a turnaround jump shot. The Pacers cut the lead all the way down to 8 at one point. Kobe White started getting some points in the paint. And Buddy Hield again started to go off. He had 14. In the third, he had 14. Kobe from 3, Zach from 3. And the Bulls did lead by 4 after 3. Now, Alex Caruso opened the fourth quarter up. And after that, right, the Chicago Bulls and Indiana Pacers basically were going back and forth and back the entire fourth quarter. I mean, whether it was Buddy Hield, whether it was Miles Turner, who had a great game defensively, whether it was Kobe White, whether it was Zach LaVine, who had a really, really good game in the absence of DeMar DeRozan. It was just a great game down the stretch. And it was just about executing. And I said that as I was watching the game. I said, whichever team executes the most down the stretch is going to win the basketball game. And we all have known for the past almost 2 weeks, the Chicago Bulls have had problems with executing late in games. And tonight, the same thing happened. I mean, you seen the Pacers, once the Pacers did go up in the fourth quarter, the Chicago Bulls just could not execute. And that's pretty much all it was. It was just about, getting in position and being able to actually execute down the stretch of this basketball game. And for me, I pretty much, I'm not going to say I knew, but I'm going to say that when you go back and look at this game on tape and look at the last 3 minutes of the basketball game, and you look at the possessions by the Chicago Bulls, some of the shots were warranted. You had big shots from Kobe White, big shots from Zach LaVine, but Zach LaVine, at one point, the Bulls were down as much as 1 point in the fourth, and he chose to shoot a contested, mind you, he was double teamed pretty much the entire game. He shot a contested, fading away jump shot out of the corner, and he missed, and that was basically the game. After a few free throws by the Indiana Pacers, The Chicago Bulls did lose tonight by a final score of 117-113. That is the Chicago Bulls' fifth loss in a row. They are now 32-26 and still at the bottom, basically, of the Eastern Conference. Honestly, I don't know what it's going to take, man. I thought the young core was the shot in the arm that they needed. As I look back and look over the box score, you had 75 points put up by the Indiana Pacers in the second half. 27 points by Buddy Hield in the second half alone. Zach LaVine had a great game. He did take 23 shots. He went 10 of 23, 35 points, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. He did miss two free throws where I feel like he should have made, especially one down the stretch where the Bulls were down. Three, and he missed one. So it's just, when you got a team down 24, you got to know how to put that team away. As far as stats go, you seen 11 points from Patrick Williams. He went 5 of 10 from the field, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. You see Nikola Vucevic with 19 points, 7 rebounds. I really thought Vucevic was going to have a bigger impact on tonight's game on the rebounding side, but he did make 3 threes. You did see Alex Caruso make an impact. He did have 5 personal fouls, but he did have 5 points for the game. 3 assists, 2 rebounds. Zach LaVine did go 10 of 23 from the field, played 43 minutes. You seen him go 4 of 11 from 3, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 35 points. Ayo Dosunmu with a great night. He did have 15, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 6 of 12 from the field. Kobe White off the bench with 25 big points. He did make 5 of 8 from 3, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Andre Drummond did see some minutes off the bench, 7 rebounds, 3 points. Dalen Terry did not score, but he did make an impact defensively, if you ask me. 2 rebounds and assists, 15 minutes for him. You did not see Derrick Jones Jr., and of course you did not see Javonte Green. So, like I said, I feel like the Chicago Bulls need a shot in the arm. As far as the Pacers go, you've seen them. Buddy Hield did have 27. Halliburton did have 16 and 8 assists. Naismith did have 21. Miles Turner, who was affecting a lot of shots tonight, had 17 points, 9 rebounds. You seen Chris Duarte with 14 and Benedict Mathurin with 14 also. And like I said, man, the Chicago Bulls, they need something. I don't know if it's going to come in the realms of a player from the buyout or a little shake-up with the starting core, but tonight was just one of those moments where you have a team down. You got to know how to finish and execute against these teams. It just keeps happening in games where the Chicago Bulls were winning last season. They are losing these games and losing them in the same fashion. It's like, okay, you might lose a game by 1 or you might lose a game by 3 or, certain things happen. It's the NBA. But when you're losing the game in the same fashion where you go up by double digits and you look like you about to run away, but we all know the NBA is a game based on runs. So for them to lose in the same fashion nightly almost, it's just, it hurts my heart as a fan. It's borderline embarrassing, but like I said, they need something. At this point, I'm at a loss to what they need. I don't know if it's a legit point guard so guys can be, where they're supposed to be on the court. I don't know if it's, more lineup changes, or is it a health thing, like everybody get healthy? Who knows? Because the Bulls haven't been, and I don't feel like they will be whole at any point in the season. I'm going to just say what it is. I don't expect to see Lonzo Ball at all this season. So there's no telling if DeMar DeRozan will be back before the actual All-Star game. I don't see it. The Bulls have a lot of question marks, and not making no moves at the trade deadline made things more clear than anything. You know, it made things more clear than anything. They are okay with the group that they have, and they believe in the group that they have. But like I said, you lose games like this, how can you even say that if you are the front office? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Chicago Bulls fans, Indiana Pacers fans, NBA fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to the channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.